162. We did it. No, 164. 162 was I. I messed up. I said the wrong one. It's 164. White Chicks. Your brother made out the podcast. It's been a while since we've
Yes.
done this. We're
Yes.
back. So much has happened.
So
What's
much.
going on?
Wow, you got a very laid back sort of demeanor today. I like that.
Oh yeah, I also forgot that my microphone was over there.
I thought I was just gonna roll with it sounding weird.
Strike two. 164.
You hit strike three. This podcast is over.
It's already over. what have you been up to lately?
Not too much, I guess. Went on a run today. Got the TC 10K in a couple weeks. I was doing pretty good with the training, and then I stopped running for a couple weeks. So that set me back a bit. Because I went on this run today, it didn't go so great. I felt fine, but it just wasn't particularly fast. I watched Project Hail Mary. Did you see that?
Not yet. Didn't we talk about this last time? When did you watch it?
Maybe we
It's
did.
only been 2 weeks.
Maybe we did. I don't remember.
Space? I think we did. Yeah, it happened in space. We can talk about it. I read the book. I know all about it.
Right. I remember you telling me that you read the book. You right there on the screen.
Yeah. I own it. I can go get it.
Another fun thing that I did. I've been collecting Pokemon cards for a while. Since
Oh no.
I collected them when I was a kid, and then I stopped for a long time. And then back in like 28, probably like 2017 or 2018, before Pokemon cards like blew up again, I was like, I'm gonna get into them again. And it was very affordable to do so. You could buy like vintage packs from back when I was a kid for like 20-30 bucks. And now they're like $400 or $500 or whatever, depending on which one you get. So anyway, I did a lot of collecting then. And then I'll get a card here or there every once in a while. But all my cards were always all over the place. I have some graded ones too. There's a graded one up there. You can't really see it. But I finally took all my cards and I put them in a fancy binder. And now they're all in the same place.
Are they a specific order or the two are the same? Nice.
The foil ones at the beginning. Most of the foil ones. And then there's kind of like the cards that I really like the artwork of. And then some newer cards when I kind of was like, I'll dip my foot into the newer stuff, but I haven't been crazy about the new stuff. Like this page has got a bunch of Psyducks on it and stuff.
See a Shelder and
yeah, I like that Shelder artwork and Krabby
or Kabuto. Which one's your favorite? Good question, Josh. Good question.
This is a very good question. Probably one of the ones I got graded, Dark Charizard from the Team Rocket set.
Scary.
But yeah. Did you ever have Pokemon cards when you were growing up?
Yeah, when I was like, a baby.
A small child.
I see Pokemon cards on the ground sometimes when I'm walking. And I flip them over and I'm like, oh, a Thunder. Nice.
Yeah. I have seen that
They're
too.
all weathered and
yeah, kids, they open the packs and being the dirt bags that they are, they just throw them. It's like, oh, I don't want any of these commons and energies. Let's just toss them around.
Yeah.
Look at that. Let's play a Pokemon quiz. What's the name of that one?
It's a Farfetch'd.
That's a Farfetch'd. Very good. What's the name of this one? It's an easy one.
It's not Marowak. It's Cubone.
That's right.
Sorry, my
What's the
brain.
name? What's the name of that fella?
Gengar. Gengar. That's my favorite one. Gengar, favorite Pokemon.
That's a common favorite. I think my favorite is not that it's bad. I'm just saying people really like Gengar. I like Scyther and Snorlax and Psyduck. Probably my 3 favorite.
Snorlax and Scyther and Psyduck, all starting with the same sounds.
Yes, very true. Did you play any of the Pokemon games?
Yeah. Big Pokemon game guy. Love Fire Red.
Nice.
I grew up on Pokemon Yellow.
That's a good one. You get Pikachu following you around.
It's kind of annoying. But now I can only play if it's like randomized. I'm not a vanilla guy.
You play.
Doing
I
the
see.
challenge.
And then you do Nuzlocke.
Then you do Nuzlocke, yeah. And
Yeah.
Ironmons.
Yep. And chat plays Pokemon. Okay. That's cool. Do you have any of your old cards still from when you were a kid?
No. I probably threw them in the trash. Or my mom is hoarding them. One of the two.
Do you remember any ones that you owned?
No. It didn't mean much to me.
Perfect.
It's just cool. Just cool.
You're
It's
probably
over.
like slightly too old for it, would be my guess.
Maybe. I remember Pogs. I was in the Pog craze. Big marble guy.
Mm-hmm.
When marbles hit, I was in there playing the marble games.
We played marbles at my school.
What
about Beyblade? Else. You're probably too old for Beyblade.
No, Beyblade never really caught on where I was. There's a lot of those like toys things, and you had to collect them all.
Mm-hmm. That's what they get you.
A bully steals them. Yeah.
Crazy Bones.
Crazy Bones. That's what I was trying to think of. Yeah. Right in the time of Crazy Bones.
Nice.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay, well, there's a little trip now down nostalgia lane. What have you been up to?
Thank you for asking. I watched 2 movies, not including White Chicks. Mercy, which is the new Chris Pratt film that's on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Hot garbage. I wouldn't recommend it. It's one of those films where it's like, it's not a normal. It's like, did you see the Ice Cube COVID movie when he was just in front of the screen?
Or the Worlds or whatever? No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I heard it's supposed to be extremely bad.
Yeah, it was similar to that. It was all showing like body cam footage and like surveillance footage because it was in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't like it.
That's cool.
And the second film that I watched that I liked a little bit better was called Send Help. Send Help. You know all about that one?
We don't like that very much.
It was like 6.5. It was like a 6.5. Maybe I expected more. It was okay. It was fine.
What did I give Send Help? I gave Send Help a 3.5 stars, 7 out of 10. So no, we're not too far off.
They're not too far. Do you know what's really crazy about White Chicks before I get into more stuff that happened to me?
Okay.
White Chicks has a 19% on Rotten Tomatoes, yet a 3.7 on Letterboxd.
Right. Well, I think of Letterboxd as like the highbrow. You know, that's where people go when they watch fucking some sort of artsy fartsy film. So that's weird that would be that. I would think it would be the other way around. 17 is criminally low.
Right. I have a dog, as you may know.
Yeah.
She is a menace. She's a 70-pound menace. And on Sunday night, she broke her crate, which was okay because we wanted to buy her a bigger size crate. She broke the door. She like bent. It's a wire crate. She bent the wire so that we couldn't open the door.
She's like a Hulk. The Hulk.
Yeah, she locked herself in there. So it's fine. We went and we bought a new crate, a bigger size, and it was great. That was Sunday night. Today's Wednesday. We leave. Another story I'll talk about. We leave today to do something. Come back. She's broken a second crate. 2 crates in 4 days. She's bent the wires.
She doesn't like to be
It's a
contained.
predicament.
She's discovered the strength of her body.
Yeah. Crates aren't cheap, turns out.
No.
Ooh, hey Megan, we can try Marketplace. Anyways, that's when I was like, okay, God, maybe buy a new crate. Have you ever done Pilates?
Before I answer your question, I'm assuming that Megan and the dog aren't in the house because it's awfully quiet over there.
Dog is sleeping in front of me. Megan's in the bedroom.
Oh, okay. I've never done Pilates.
But yoga.
Yeah.
In like a setting where other people are in the room and there's a coach, or not a coach, a teacher teaching it.
Yep.
Well, we signed up and now we do Pilates and yoga every day almost.
You go to a class
Today was
every
the first
day?
Well, you sign up. We're doing like a month. Our first month is much cheaper, so we sign up for classes. Today's the first day. Feeling it today. Feeling it. I mean, the class is at 5 o'clock, but I'm feeling it 4 hours later.
Right.
We're gonna do that. We're gonna get jacked, and then we're gonna run the TC 10K, and we're gonna beat you.
That sounds like a good plan. And you're enjoying it, are you?
Also, Hail, really? Project Hail Mary, and there was hail today. What are the odds? I missed that joke because I'm tired. Sorry, what was your question?
I asked how you liked it.
I don't know what I'm doing, so it's hard because the teacher has to come over and be like, "No, do it the right way," and I'm embarrassed. I was the only man in the class.
It's like, you're doing downward facing dog. That's what we're doing right now. You're doing dogward facing up right now. Like, that's.
I was like, "Yeah, you're not bending your knees correctly." Like, I don't know what I'm doing.
You're that guy.
I am the only guy.
Yeah, that's upsetting. But you'll get there.
Yeah. I don't think that was coming from inside.
It's coming from somewhere else.
No questions today. They're all bad.
Okay.
All bad questions.
That's no problem. So where were you
I thought
going?
we'd catch up.
Yeah, well, I like that. Where were you going when Kirby destroyed the crate the second time?
To the yoga class.
Oh, I understand.
So the problem was she was pretty fired up when we put her in there, so she was mad. And she pulls. There were blankets on top of it to cover it, so she pulled a blanket through the hole and pulled, and it bent the wire. The first time she had her line, she's attached to a line when she doesn't attack the cats. She pulls the line through and bent it.
Puppies are tough. I commend you on your fortitude.
See my arms. Should see my thighs.
You're bruised. It's a shame.
Yeah. It's a shame. All right. Anything else you want to chit chat about? It's been a while. It's been 2 weeks, but it feels like it's been longer.
It does kind of, doesn't it? No, I don't think so. I'm trying to think of any. My parents are in the Bahamas right now.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
So you're babysitting your brother?
I was asked to check in on him a few times.
Isn't he like 25 by now?
He's 22. Yes.
What's his living situation? Is he still living at home?
Yes.
The Jesse treatment, I guess.
Yeah, that's it. Yep. And so, and he has, they have a cat. And my understanding,
Right.
based off the text I received from my mom, is they don't perhaps fully trust him to take care of the cat
That's crazy.
fully, properly. Because when you're around that age, you're like, oh, I'll take care of the cat. I'll do the bare minimum, but not do it quite how you should. Although I don't think I was really like that. I feel like I was like, I will do this exactly how you ask, because I just don't want to mess it up.
Yeah, it's not hard.
But younger people
not
these
hard
days,
people pooping.
they're different beasts entirely. A bit more sort of laid back,
Yeah,
I would say, as a
more like
generalization.
the 6'7" and the looks maxing and all that stuff.
Yeah, clavicular. I should start.
I see a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
What should you start?
Well, I was just going to say we should start appealing to other generations, and this is our foray into that sort of world, clavicular. What were you going to say?
Which I actually didn't even know that's how you said it. Said the name. I think we should any generation we can start. I did not know this person existed, and then he's been everywhere
Yep.
for a very short amount of time. Just seemed like storming off stuff.
Yeah, he was on Channel 5 News, Andrew Callahan, and he was
Yeah, I saw that.
boom, gone. He was on 60 Minutes, boom, gone. He was upset with Andrew Callahan. You're not going to mention looks maxing a single time? I mean, that's an interest. That's a look into what the kids are doing these days.
Not taking care of cats.
Not taking care of cats.
Too much care of their internets.
And now every time that you say something that like an old person would do, like, oh, I was real tired last night, so I went to bed at like 8:30. Or if I say something similar, one of us can say, okay, Unc. And that's something else we can sort of weave into our vernacular.
Right.
So
so that means uncool? Or does that mean uncle?
I thought it just meant like old. That's my understanding of it.
Uncles are old.
Yeah. See, Unc is one of those things, like it has a meaning. Like you can ask someone, what's Unc mean? And they say, oh, well, it means an old person. But then 6'7", you can't ask what that means. It don't mean anything.
The amount of, so during Halloween, the amount of pumpkins that had 6'7" carved into them, your head would roll. It's crazy out there.
Is that true?
Yeah, I would like every fifth house. If I was delivering mail in a neighborhood with children, just a 6 and a 7 in a pumpkin.
That's something. That's something else.
You know what else was something else?
What? What's that?
This movie, White Chicks, it passed the Bechdel test. Women talking to each other about something other than a man.
Yeah, they were. There was plenty of women in this movie.
Yep. Many recognizable.
Yeah. Have you seen Scary Movie?
Yes, I'm sure I saw Scary Movie when it came out with these brothers, for sure. Yeah.
The Wayans brothers. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen any Wayans Brothers film up until now.
Well, they're coming out. So okay, we have seen one. Marlon was in Lady Killers. Not a Wayne's brother film, but um, I was gonna say something, but now I
There's a
can't
lot of
remember.
Wayans.
Oh yeah, Scary Movie. So they did Scary Movie 1 and Scary Movie 2, and then they left the franchise,
Mm-hmm.
and then they did like 6 movies, and then they're coming back. Scary Movie 6 is coming out this year, and it's them back. If this movie does well, they're like making a White Chicks 2.
Which is what the people want.
So
People love white chicks. The couple people, as you know, I mentioned to people at my work, hey, listen, here's, because people ask, what's the next movie for the podcast? None of these people listen to the podcast, by the way, but at least they're showing
I
interest.
know.
I like that. They show interest, and that's what friends are for, right? So what's your next movie for the podcast? Well, I'm doing White Chicks. And they go, oh my God, you haven't seen that? That's what they always say. That's what they said first. No, I haven't seen it. And then they're always like, and then they ask me, have you seen a Wayans Brothers film before? And I said, well, no, I haven't. And they don't quite come out and tell me that some of it hasn't aged very well, but I think that's kind of what they're getting at. Which, I mean, I agree. Some of what was in this film hadn't. Do you agree with that?
Many things. Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, for sure. 2004, different time.
It was a different time.
They were a little self-aware though.
That's the thing. I felt like it was, yes, they were making jokes that, you wouldn't make today, but it did seem like they were kind of like, yeah, there was some self-aware sort of intelligence behind the jokes a little bit. Like the right
You're
balance
talking
of,
specifically about the car scene when they're all in the car.
right.
They're driving. They're singing, Vanessa Carlton,
Mm-hmm.
1,000 Miles or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
which love the song. And then they say, and then it switches to a different song, perhaps
Mm-hmm.
more of a Wayans Brothers song,
Mm-hmm.
which they enjoyed. Words were said, and then they were like, "Can I say that?" And they were like, "Nobody's around.
Right.
Say all you want, white people."
Which I
That
feel
was
like was
self-awareness.
well, yeah. And I feel like that was a way people thought too back then. Just kind of like, yeah, no one's around, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, what I can't help but compare this type of movie, which is like, I'll call it like a stupid humor movie, because there's like poop jokes and people being extremely outlandish and all that. I can't help but think of like Dude, Where's My Car? And Idiocracy. I think
Joe Cruise.
Yep, sort of a similar vibe going on. But what's different between this movie and those movies is that this movie is actually funny. Whereas those movies are not funny at all. And that's what makes them so offensive for more than one reason. Like, I'm sure that you laughed.
Yeah, I heard that you laughed
least
out loud a lot.
Oh, I did. You must have.
I don't know. I don't know if I would say I laughed out loud a lot, but
You laughed a
I
little
understood the humor. And okay, what I'm gonna say is that my expectations for this movie were low, very low, because I knew what kind of a movie we're getting into. Somebody who is alive and was alive in 2004 and knows all about white chicks, and the fact that it's still like really talked about today, like the memes, you know. This is I didn't think it was gonna be as bad as Dude, Where's My Car or Idiocracy, but I didn't think it was gonna be like that. It'd be a waste of my time. But I did enjoy it more than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
It had a good story, plot was good.
Yeah.
Um, it made sense. It was interesting in a way. It was filmed in Victoria sometimes.
Yeah, I was
The
looking,
Empress.
didn't see anything that really stood out. I'm like, oh, this is the Victoria scenes.
A lot more was filmed in Chilliwack.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
But like when they were on the beach, it was Jericho Beach in Vancouver.
Ah, been
The
there.
Empress. Um, there was some fancy house on Rockland Avenue that they filmed at.
Okay.
Inside the Empress for like the auction scene.
Yeah.
The hotel, I guess, must be Empress.
Okay, that
Don't
makes
know.
sense.
Never been inside.
I mean, I have maybe once, but I don't really remember it. Yeah. What?
Fancy.
Yeah, fancy. Um, there was obviously lots of different bits, but I did like that they didn't like linger on the bits for too long. Like sometimes they'll just kind of beat a dead horse with a certain bit through a film. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, the strand through the whole thing, the bit that's always there is that they're dressed as women, but that's more of like part of the plot, I suppose. I don't know. I didn't feel like they're. Yeah, I don't know. Didn't get old.
Right, because they moved pretty quickly through, so it didn't get old. The the one thing that I didn't find believable was that how would anybody think that they were women?
Well, yeah, they looked horrifying. Let's put it that way. They didn't
Yeah.
look like humans. Um, but I assumed that it was like it was like that on purpose. They look so not like, so obvious. And the fact that no one can
They tried their
tell it,
best.
no one can tell. I mean, let alone that they were passing off as women, but that they're supposed to be these two specific women that they looked nothing alike.
Mm-hmm.
People are like, oh my
Blonde.
god, hey you two, how are you doing? It's like
You get taller?
way taller
Yeah.
and broader and
I guess they did kind of play into that. Like, obviously, they knew they were going to look exactly like them, so just silly,
yeah,
you know? But
yeah,
a good silly.
yeah, yeah. MC, you said, you were alive in 2004, so you knew about what White Chicks was all about. I literally didn't know. I didn't know anything. I just knew that two guys dressed up as women. That's literally all I knew. And so, yeah, I was just went
Yeah,
in
I thought it was
totally
more of a
ignorant.
trashy film.
Right. I mean, it
Harrison
was
Ford was a
certainly
fun
was at times.
Being Girls.
Hmm. Um, what was I going to say? It's definitely some quotes that have like stood the test of time with this one, because I swear I've seen like I'm watching a TikTok compilation or something, and people are like taking sound bites from this movie. Like you can really put it away, little lady, or something.
Yeah, something about like Latrell on the dance floor or something.
Uh huh.
A lot of dancing.
And I really liked in Terry Crews. I thought was one of the highlights. It was very funny, very muscular man. You ever seen The
Yeah,
Longest Yard?
with Adam Sandler
Yeah, with Adam Sandler.
or Burt Reynolds. Wait, what was the original one?
The original
Was
one
it Burt
had Burt
Reynolds?
Reynolds. Yeah, he was the main guy, and then he was also in the Adam Sandler one. But Terry Crews is that one. Is
Right.
in that one. He's has like the McDonald's in. He always has like cheeseburgers and stuff. Cheeseburger Eddie, I think his name was. Anyway, I just remember. I guess when they put him in movies, like, okay, your shirt's not going to be on because we want to show off your massive, bulging muscles. So when I think of him in that movie, I think of him in his big muscles dancing around doing the robot. And he was dancing around with no shirt on in this too. He likes to dance with no shirt on. Or maybe he doesn't, but since he's paid enough,
Yeah.
he does it.
If you got it, flaunt it,
He certainly got it. So yeah.
Yeah. Obviously a movie that we can't criticize too much. We knew what it was going to be going in, low expectations.
Yeah.
White chicks.
I'm just glad that I came out of it. I mean, I enjoyed my time watching it. That it was actually funny. I thought it was funny. And because as soon as I started the movie, like the first scene, I was like, oh my God, is this what this whole thing is going to be like? Because it starts off pretty heavy handed at the beginning. Let's put it that way.
A little racist.
Yeah, exactly. So I got flashbacks of Dude, Where's My Car? And I'm like, man, if it's like this the whole movie, this is going to be horrible. But luckily, it kind of turned itself around a little bit. And
yeah, when they turn white, which is interesting.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, a fun time. I can see why people like it. Certainly no masterpiece.
What was that? The turtle movie. Master Disguise. Okay. That's not what we're watching next.
Thank God.
I did like the first scene because it set up the movie, obviously showing that, hey, these two can put on disguises and fool people. And then, oh, it's actually ice cream. Clever.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, shoot, shoot. And then a little full circle moment with the mess at the end, which was fun. Frankie Faison is in this film. He's been in 2 other movies you've done.
Frankie Faison? Who the hell is that? Oh, is he the guy who plays like one of the he what, sir?
The police chief?
Oh. What else has he been in?
Other stuff.
Okay.
I can't remember. Bollock.
No biggie, no biggie.
One of the police one of the guys is the dad in Sabrina? Riverdale? I don't know. Frankie Faison was in Do the Right Thing and Mississippi Burning, which I guess makes sense.
Okay.
In Mississippi Burning, he was like the dad of the kid. Do the Right Thing. I can't remember what he was. John Hurt, obviously, the dad in Home Alone, but also in Chud. He's in Chud.
In Chud. That's right.
And then other people, yeah. Busy Phillips, first movie for her, but she's in a lot of stuff. Coyote Ugly maybe came out in 2004 too. Like, it was a good year for crazy films.
Yeah.
That stick with you. Maybe just because I was 13 at the time. That's kind of like the
very impressionable year.
Period of time. Yes, exactly.
Yep.
Going into high school, so it's like, oh. Anyways. Anything else you can think of about white chicks?
No, I don't think so.
I've heard quote called something else.
No, that's a good name for the movie.
I can see that this would be somebody's favorite movie.
Yeah. Definitely. I'm sure, yeah, it definitely is somebody's.
What did we do? What did we do last time?
What movie did we do?
2 weeks ago? Yeah.
Ronin.
Wouldn't have been somebody's favorite movie.
Yeah, that would be a tough. I like this movie better than Ronin, but I think that's a bit of a hot take. I'm sure you probably liked Ronin a little better than this movie. But I don't know what score you're going to give it.
Sorry, I'm just gonna wait until somebody stops doing the dishes.
Okay. You should.
I don't know what score I'm gonna give it. I think I had a better time watching this film than Ronin. Lighter.
Yeah,
Your
that's true.
follow, not in French.
Me
I got to watch
personally,
it with Megan, which was fun.
yeah, I watched it with Mackenzie. She's the one who recommended we watch it. She said, "That's a movie I remember thinking was funny when I was younger." I said, "Okay, let's try it," and it was still funny now.
Well,
When I
man.
come into when I come into these episodes, I usually have a range of what I'm going to give the movie. I don't really have the score ready, and then I use our conversation. Me talking it out a bit, hearing what you have to say. That informs my score a little bit more. So now I have a score out of 10, which I'm going to give it. And yeah,
I come into this knowing what score I'm going to give it because I look at your Letterboxd. I'm like, oh, you gave it this? Okay, I'm going to give it this 0.1.
Right. Just a one up me or one down me.
Yeah. Okay, well, are you ready to get into scores? Okay, fine. Acting out of 10. What do you think?
Pretty good comedic acting. Some of the characters I wasn't crazy about. They were like a little too cheesy, and I felt it didn't really work or were kind of superfluous. Like the stupid cops, like one of them like was smelling the underwear, and that duo.
Yep.
I wasn't crazy about them. But yeah, overall it was pretty good. The Wayans brothers, I think they're talented. Obviously have some comedic chops, and Terry Crews is very funny as well. So I kind of think I'd go with a 6 on acting. I mean, yeah, pretty good.
You have to rewatch Scary Movie because I feel like this movie was better than Scary Movie. Less like bad jokes. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 2 out of the many Wayans, the family. Yeah, I don't really understand the cops. The other cops, they were like the good cops to the Wayans bad cops, but they didn't really do much besides like babysit a little bit, and they couldn't even tell the difference between. And there wasn't like a fight. They liked each other at the end. It was, yeah. A lot of this might be a hot take. A lot of women, I kind of got them. I got a little confused, a little mixed up. Who are these women? Who are they supposed to be? Terry Crews is great. Yeah, I'll give it a 6 because whatever. Yeah, it was never about the acting. This film was never about the acting, but it wasn't. Perhaps like Dude, Where's My Car, where the acting was so bad that it made the movie bad. This movie, acting was fine.
Yeah.
The ending, I like the ending. It was also fine. I like the circle moment with the mess, the cleanup, and then there's the police chief being like, "You did it, good job." Terry Crews taking the bullet, and then being mad that he was white or he wasn't white, not that he wasn't a woman.
Yeah.
Funny. Obviously, everybody. I guess actually going back to acting, maybe besides the cops, everybody kind of had their own point while they were in the movie. Like the wife, her point, she was in the movie a lot, and that was because she thought that, which was a funny subplot, she thought that her husband was cheating on her, but really just being a woman.
Right.
It's like those kind of stories, and then it all like wrapping up at the end was good. I'll give the ending a 7. 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I think I'm all over that as well. I liked the ending. The story was interesting enough. Well, it made the plot go by at least, and it wasn't. Yeah, it was an interesting enough plot that I was invested to see what was going to happen.
Yeah.
And I thought it had an interesting ending. And before I give my score, I'm going to ask you which Pokemon is this?
That's a Persian's little brother, Meowth.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep. And who's this?
It's a Clefable.
Yep. All right, you pass. See, you are a Pokemon guy.
Yeah, but don't even like anything past Gen 1, maybe Gen 2, and I have issues.
Same thing for
It's
me.
new stuff.
Same thing for me.
Why not?
Why not?
Exactly. All these
so-
evolutions, it's like
Yep. 7 out of 10.
great. How do you like the movie overall? Out of 10.
I thought it was funny. I thought it was pretty clever for a movie full of stupid jokes. I thought it did it pretty intelligently, if that makes sense. And yeah, I understand why people like it. It's quotable. So I'm gonna give it a problematic at times, no doubt. But this is kind of like the lens you need to watch a lot of things. Like, growing up, we watched different like Disney movies, and there's always some sort of problematic subplot going on or something. You ever seen the Aristocats? You cut out there. I didn't hear what you said.
No.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. Anyway, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, this won't be going into the Criterion collection, surely, but a good cult hit, I assume. Hopefully, made some money for them. It's one of those movies that how can you hate it? 6.5 out of 10. But I mean, I was always gonna do 6.5. It wasn't. It's nothing personal. It's not me trying to one up you. Excuse you. 6.5, and then you gave it a 6, which was better than Ronin. Turns out.
Yeah,
Who would have thought?
it's not tough
Okay.
beating Ronin.
So that was White Chicks. I assume I don't have a movie in mind. I have a spinner wheel, and I assume we're not going. It'll be a little bit better of a film, a little more highbrow.
Okay.
But I guess we'll take a look.
We'll let fate decide.
Well, fate-ish. Spin, 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 spin. Ooh, 2 greens in a row. What is that? Ronin again? Brazil. Ever seen
Oh,
Brazil? Ever heard
I
of
have
Brazil?
I have seen Brazil.
You have seen Brazil.
I have.
All right, that's fine. Spin, spin, spin.
It's got
spin,
Robert
spin.
De Niro in it.
Do you like it?
Terry Gilliam film.
Oh,
It is
interesting.
good.
I think I knew that. Finally, we watched They Live. This has been on my list. Been on my list for years.
I haven't seen it.
No Robert De Niro, but Roddy Piper. So
Yep.
Exciting.
I know the premise. I mean, I'm not that naive, but I haven't
put some
seen.
glasses on.
Yeah, I haven't seen the film. No one. That is probably one of those ones you tell people you haven't seen it and they want to murder you. You haven't seen They Live? I'm sorry, I haven't seen They Live.
Well,
I know it may seem a little far-fetched.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Thank you. You want to do some more Pokemon quiz before we're done?
Sure. What year do you think they
Say that again, please.
If you had to guess. What year do you think They Live, the film They Live, came out?
I would
3.8
say,
on our box, by the way.
yep. I would say 1985. Oops.
88, so close.
Okay. I knew it was the 80s.
Close enough.
All right. Let's go with one that, yeah, this could trip you up. These are all Japanese cards, so it's not, you can't cheat. It doesn't say their name.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Yeah,
Who's
no
that fella
cheating.
right there?
I mean,
If I can
my
get it.
first instinct was Cyndaquil, but oh, is
No.
that? Oh, it's Gloom.
That's Gloom. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Obviously. Let's get into the higher Pokedex where it's not so easy. Here we go.
Mewtwo.
Not Mewtwo. Who's that fella?
Oh, is this the tree? The tree that you had to use a squirt bottle on? Oh no, never mind. I now see the face. Pinsir. I now see the face.
Were you thinking of Pseudo Wudo?
Sorry. Yeah, Sudowoodo. It does take a while for it to
It does take a while for it to focus.
Focus.
I think you're going to know all the first 151.
Tangela.
Okay.
Or Tangela, depending on
if you're stupid or not. Okay, and so this will be the last one we'll do because you're nailing it right now.
Well, okay. Before you do that, here's a question for you.
Okay.
Rattata, 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 Rattata.
What did I call
Rattata?
I remember calling him
Rattata.
Ratatat. Ratatat. Ratata. Ratata.
Rattata. Okay. I mean, I think Rattata was. That's a Kabuto. No,
That is a good.
that's Kabuto's a big one.
Nope.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Kabutops is the big one.
Kabuto.
Okay, last one for real.
Go with your guts. Go with your guts.
Yeah, last one for real.
Lapras. No, that's a Dratini.
No.
A Dragonair.
Yep. Okay. You did very well. You did good, Haas, as they say. Some people say that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the Haagen-Dazs joke was pretty funny.
Hagen.
The beginning of the movie with the ice cream.
Yes. Yes, it was. But it was funny.
I didn't laugh out loud, but
right.
I think They Live on Crave. Should look.
That would be convenient. All right. Well, I hope everyone had a lot of fun. Fun is. We should call ourselves like Your Mother Ate My Dog in a fun way, just so people know that this is a fun podcast.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's on Crave, but
we'll figure out a way. I had fun anyway. You don't need to have fun over there. Like, you don't. This is not a necessity for you, but for me personally, I had fun. I hope you had fun.
It's always a fun time.
Right. And yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good way to end it on a positive note.
Yeah.
Everybody's having fun over here. Everybody's having fun over there.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's all we got to say.
All right. 1